Hello, welcome to guided meditation and mindful movement with Leo on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Visit us on the web at urbanyoga.org or on Facebook at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center to stop by to check out the schedule. Visit the tip jar to make contributions. These online classes are donation based. And the schedule changes from month to month. So you'll notice some classes have dropped off for this month. Very hot time in Palm Spring where a lot of our people are, and attendance has been down quite a bit. So we've set some classes aside for now, and maybe they'll be back as soon as September. We'll see. Fortunately, this new Saturday morning class and the new Wednesday evening class remain, and also my Wednesday morning class still on the schedule. So for now, I'm here 3 times a week with Kristen's Urban Yoga. So we can start out today sitting or kneeling as you like, or if it's not comfortable to sit, you're welcome to make yourself comfortable, whatever that looks like. Lying down, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. You can close your eyes if you like. And begin by focusing on your breath. Taking in the movements of your breath. The sensations that accompany these movements. Inhaling is expansive. There's a rising feeling. Exhaling, there's contraction to the body and a grounding sensation. That's generally what's felt. Just tune into whatever else you're feeling. What other layers are there? What other sensations are present? Feeling wherever you're touching down on the ground, whatever you're sitting on, whatever other external sensations are present, maybe air moving in the room from a vent or an open window, a fan, whatever's going on in your space. Whatever you may be hearing within the room you're in or outside that room, filtering through to you. Whatever sounds are coming to you from my space and my surroundings, in addition to my voice. Scan your body, head to toe, turning inward. Noticing more minutely what's going on in your body. Especially taking note of anything that's feeling off today. So you can keep these things in mind as we practice, knowing you're welcome as always to skip or modify any part of the practice. We'll do some simple breath work, which is a pretty accessible way to meditate. Meditate doesn't have to mean clearing your mind or emptying your mind. There's a lot of misconceptions around what it means. Meditating can mean a lot of things. One thing it can be is simply focusing in a particular way. So we'll be focusing on the breath, on the sensations of the breath, and on measuring, on equalizing and extending the breath. So we begin this by, without directing any change, just counting as you breathe. Whatever pace works for you. What is the count for your inhale? And what is the count for your exhale? So the first thing we sort of evaluate is, are the counts the same? Or is one part of the breath longer than the other? If your inhale is longer than your exhale, or vice versa, see if you can extend the shorter half of the breath to be the same count as the other half. And if both halves were the same count, to start with, see if you can extend both halves by one count. So if you were breathing in to a count of 4, breathing out to a count of 4, just bring it up to 5 gently. And notice how this feels. Does that last count come easily and smoothly? Does it take more effort? And with repetition, does it become less of an effort, become more useful? You can always change position or shifting now to remain comfortable, because comfort can be a moving target. That's how the body's work, right? See if you can lengthen your inhale and your exhale by one more count, wherever it is. I'm deliberately not saying what my count is or counting out loud, because everybody's different. We count at different paces. Our breaths are different lengths. Just working on each directing change for our breath. And just noticing, is that second round of increasing the count, lengthening the inhales and the exhales, come more easily than the first time we stepped it up? About the same? Less easily? There's no wrong answer. The inquiries are always more important than the answers. And I don't know is always an acceptable answer. I can't tell. It's perfectly good. If it's comfortable for you, increase by one more count. And if it's not, just keep breathing with the count that you're at. You can always choose to try again in a couple of breaths if you want, or if there's any profound discomfort with continuing to lengthen the breaths, you don't have to keep going up and up. Listen to your body. Simply counting and paying attention, aiming to have inhales and exhales of about the same length. It has its own benefit. That's enough. That's enough focus. If you're comfortable with continuing to increase, you can raise that count by one more. And this doesn't have to be a strictly linear experience. It could be that the first couple of times you increase the count, it came easily and then became more difficult as we added and added again. Maybe the other way around. Maybe you don't notice much different from one increase to the next. If you want, let's go to one more. One number higher on those counts, if you like. And after your next exhale, let the counting go and let your breath return to its natural, undirected pace. And chances are, after that equalizing and lengthening work, that the inhales and exhales will remain about the same length. But we can let go of the noticing, we can let go of the counting. Oh, and yawning is just another form of breath. Don't stifle anything that comes out. A yawn, a cough, clearing of the throat, a sneeze, just let it come. As I perform a big yawn for the camera. Let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sighing sound. You can let your eyes open if you like. Let your chin come down towards your chest. And gently and slowly, we're going to move our head in circles to loosen up the neck. Roll your ear towards your shoulder. Really take your time. Let your head tip back, look up towards the ceiling. Continue on over towards your other shoulder. And I'm moving my hands out of my lap, letting my arms hang by the side. I usually do that before I begin the circles. Making sure the shoulders disengage here. Try not to raise the shoulder towards the ear. As you roll the ear towards the shoulder, that's something we do sometimes. So just check in with those shoulders, are they slack? If there are tight places in your neck, you can pause with this circling movement to rock back and forth. Paying a little more attention to that tightness, easing some of it out. That rocking movement. Necks are often tight in the morning, not exclusively in the morning, but for many folks, especially in the morning. And it's still morning for Palm Springs folks. And let's change the direction. And when you finish the next circle, lift your chin and just face forward. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear, then slide it back and let it down. Then your right shoulder up and back and down. Reach your arms out to the sides and rest your fingertips on the floor. So we're staying long in the spine here. So we extend out, set up for some side bends, twists. Inhale, lift your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach across to the right, leaning into the right hand, and letting your head be wherever your neck feels comfortable. No wrong position for your head as long as it's comfortable. Inhale, bring yourself upright. As you exhale, bring that left hand to the floor behind you and your right hand to your left leg. Inhale to lengthen up and exhale to twist some more. Checking out how much feels like enough twist. Not necessarily going as far as you can. Maybe enough is less than that. We don't always have to do the most. We don't have to go to extreme. We certainly don't want to force any. Let yourself unwind and come through center. Inhale, raise your right arm up alongside your ear. And as you exhale, reach across to your left. Feel from length from right hip up through the right fingertips. Inhale to bring yourself upright. As you exhale, come into the opposite seated twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. This side may want less or more than the other side, or maybe be about the same. Yeah, we just take in the differences. We don't need to make it be the same as the other side, of course. Let yourself unwind, come through center, and bring your hands to rest on your knees or on your thighs. Inhale, draw your heart forward, allow your head to tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward and down. And just follow your breath. You don't have to go at my pace. Try to use the whole inhale to come forward. Use the whole exhale to go back. And notice it with repetition, the movements get bigger, the breaths get longer. We don't need to count. We can observe difference without counting, or you can count if you like. Maybe you're really into counting. Taking in creaky floorboards that I'm sitting on. It's funny. Things I didn't have in my house in Palm Springs, or I don't have in my house in Cozumel. I have floorboards. Concrete houses, all over those places, not like this old New England house. Oh, and I didn't mention at the beginning, hosts, I should say. I am in Rhode Island. That's Sean, Steve, and Kevin's house. Practicing in the study, which isn't the same study as last year. These guys have had renovations done to the house. What was last year's study / yoga studio is now the living room. And this new study was the dining room. So we've got new painting, we've got new uses for the rooms. It's beautiful changes, lots of work on this. Love this kind of peachy color that they have in some other rooms. Very warm and bright. Let's make some circles. As you inhale, come forward, go over towards one side. As you exhale, go back. Go to the other side. Try to stay anchored in both sides of your seat. Sometimes one cheek wants to lift away from the floor, so try to stay grounded there. So this will limit the movement, but keep you from tipping over. And just that focus of staying grounded in both sides of your seat as you circle, that's some more core engagement than you would get if you just let the cheeks lift up and down with your circling. So even in a gentle class, we could focus on some effort and engagement here. Let's change direction. See, I almost tipped over backwards there. I went a little too. When I started to pause for the direction change. I'm trying to lead with the heart. Sometimes we kind of lead with the head. And that can make it harder to stay grounded. And also you're not getting the same depth of breath if the heart's moving less. And after your next exhale, sit up tall again. Rest your hands on the floor in front of you. Suggesting myself for sake of camera. Maybe I won't walk my hands off screen. Walk your hands forward. Sometimes different parts of the yogi go out of frame. Let my hands go out of frame. That's okay. Let your neck relax. Let your head hang. Breathe into your back. Breathe into any tight spots that speak up as you scan for them. Inhaling, walk your hands back, using your arms to press yourself upright. And we're going to return to the breath exercise we did before. Let me not spend quite as much time on it. I'm going to shift position. You can stay where you are. I'm just giving my legs a break because some places weren't so comfortable. So I'm going to kneel for the next round. Change, or you can stay like you are. And if you want to, you can close your eyes again. And as before, we just start by counting. How long is the inhale? And how long is the exhale? And as before, if the inhale and exhale aren't the same length, add one count to the one that's shorter, so they become the same length. And maybe you've already taken a difference from the earlier round of this exercise. I know for me that I started with a higher count than we did at the beginning. So the movements we've done already have deepened my breath. And then as before, once we've got the inhale and the exhale equalized, as you're ready at your own pace of change, you can add one count to each half of the breath, making it one longer than where you started. Of course, if you didn't need to equalize, you're doing the same, adding one count to each half. Maybe your inhale and exhale were equal from this second round of noticing. And depending on how you feel, you could even be adding one count for each round of breath, but that might seem like too much, so you can take 2, 3, 4, however many rounds you want before adding another count. So I give less granular direction here. Spend a minute or two, I'm not timing it, looking at my watch or anything. Your count, your breath, your rate of change. After your next exhale, let the counting go, let the breath flow on its own. And just take in the overall quality of the breath. Notice whatever differences might be there for you to notice from the earlier round with the same counting and extending exercise. And there are no wrong answers as you ask yourself what's different. You can scan your whole body again, take in how everything's feeling. Any trouble spots that were there before, are they still there? Do they feel differently? Has some of the trouble dissipated? Again, I don't know is an acceptable answer. I can't tell, it's just fine. It's the importance of noticing, the importance of asking questions. Always more important than whatever the answer. Answers can be useful, but they're not critical. We don't have to put pressure on or aim for any particular answer. You can let your eyes open if they're still closed. Take your time to come up onto your hands and knees. So you might tip forward, you might tip to the side, whatever you want. I'm going to set up on this funny little diagonal. Tuck myself in the corner here. Hopefully not hit the walls or bookcase as you start to move around. Reach back with your right foot, press against the ball of your foot. Okay, so on your next inhale, reach your left arm out to the side. So it's parallel to the ground, palm facing down. Pick up the right foot, reach straight back. So the leg is also parallel to the ground, but you want to make a footprint on the wall back there. Bend your knee, reach back, and if you can take hold of your foot or your ankle, kick against your hand, raise your knee and your chin. If you can't take hold, it's okay. You could still be bending your leg and reaching your hand back. Sometimes we can just catch the heel or the pant leg the Achilles tendon. But sometimes we can't get the bind, and that's okay. Release, gently let your knee and your hand down. Take a few cow and cat breaths. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tail go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, letting your head and tail come down. And after your next exhale, come back to table here with your spine neutral. Reach back, press into the ball of your left foot for a couple breaths. Feel that leg get longer. On the next inhale, reach your right arm to the side, palm down. On your next inhale, take the left foot up, reach straight back. And bend your knee, reach back and see about taking the spine. Release, lower down. And again, take a few cow and cat breaths. I'll pause with mine to take a drink and keep my throat moistened. Get warmer here. The 9:30 Palm Springs class is 12:30 East Coast. Getting into the hottest part of the day. And after your next exhale, come back through table. Step your right foot up between your hands. It's okay if it takes more than one step, or if you need to use your hands to help your leg forward. Bring your hands to your knee or your thigh to lift your torso. And if you feel wobbly, maybe widen your stance, reposition your foot or your knee until you feel more steady. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back. Whatever degree of movement feels good for you. You can keep both hands there, or you can raise one arm. As you exhale, lower it. And as you inhale, raise it. You can do both arms if you like, or keep one on your knee for steadiness. And you can always change your mind and bring that thing back to the knee if you start to wobble too much. So even in a low, gentle, accessible stance like this, we're using core muscles. Even if you've got one or both hands on the knee for support, the core is helping those arms to keep the torso up. And of course, with both arms in movement, all that work is transferred forward. And then let's twist. Reach your left hand back. You can reach your right hand forward or drop it to your knee as needed for steadiness. And come through center, bring your hands to your heart. Reach your right hand back. Reach your left hip forward or drop it to your right knee. Come through center. Bring your hands down to the floor. You could just rest your fingertips. You could have blocks in your hands here. Gonna bring the right knee back down to the floor and bring your left foot forward. And bring your hands to your leg. Use your arms to help yourself come up. Adjust for steadiness. It's a little tricky using a throw blanket instead of yoga. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back. And as you like, you can add in raising one or both arms And lowering them as you sink forward. Then twist to the right. And come through center. And twist to your left. Come through center. Bring your hands down. Step your left knee back onto the floor. And shift yourself to a seat. So maybe you tip to one side. Maybe you shift forward, however you want to get to a seat. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhaling, fold down over your legs. Let your knees bend as needed. Inhale, think of coming forward. Exhale, think of lowering some more. Inhale and walk your hands up the front of your legs. Sit yourself up. Use your arms to nudge your legs apart to whatever degree is okay. And we're going to fold from here. You could walk your hands down your legs. Or rest your hands on the floor and walk them forward. Or if you have blocks, you could rest your hands on the block and wiggle the block forward. Oh, I just know. I did see them. Oh, Inhale and walk your hands back and lift yourself up. Using your arms to help your legs bend the right leg, bring your foot to your left thigh or left knee if the thigh is too much. Pivot your torso in the center of your chest, bend your left foot, and flex that left foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over the left leg. Open your left arm out to the side and then rotate your arm, point your thumb down. Reach the back of your hand towards your right hip. Extend your arm again. Let that rotation go. Bring the left hand back over by the right hand. And reach your right arm out to the side. And then reach it up alongside your ear. So your right hand comes overhead towards your left hand. Let your head be wherever your neck feels okay. Reach back up again and out to the right, and take your time to bring the right hand across to the left hand. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your leg, sit up, and using your arms to help switch your legs around. So the left is bent and the right is extended. And pivot your torso, flex your right foot. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold down. Reach your right arm out to the side. Rotate it to point your thumb down. Reach the back of your hand towards your left hip. Extend your arm, let the rotation go. Bring your right hand to your left hand. Open your left arm up and reach it up alongside your head. Overhead towards the other arm. The side bend does wonders for compression in the lower back, compression that builds up from the time we spend sitting. Inhaling, slowly reach up, out to the left, and bring that hand over to the right hand. Inhaling, walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Using your arms to help your legs, extend the left leg, touch the legs back towards each other. Draw your knees up and plant your feet. Plant your hands behind you and scoot forward. Bring your butt closer to your heels. Make your way gently down onto your forearms and then down onto your And pressing into the soles of the feet. Inhale to raise your hips up to bridge. If you want to go for a deeper heart opener here, you can, pardon me, you can clasp your hands and reach your knuckles towards your heels. And wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other. Keeping your neck relaxed, letting your head just rest on the floor. Keep breathing whether you're doing a bind or not. If you're taking the bind, let your hands go. Exhale slowly, let your hips. And I should have said, I'll say now, if you have blocks, you can put a block between your knees on the middle position. Explore floating up and down at your own pace. And let the next exhale down be the last one. Draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees, and rock and roll to massage your back against the floor. You reach your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Keeping your shoulders grounded. Let your legs go to the right and turn your head to the left. The closer you draw your knees to your torso, the deeper the twist will feel. So you decide how it's going to feel for yourself. Take your time, bring your head and your knees back up through center. Let the movement just carry you into the other twist. Gently come back up to center. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up to grab your legs or your feet. Play with bending and straightening your arms. When you feel complete with your inversion time, you can make your way to a resting pose of your choice. For Shavasana, integration phase, absorbing the benefits of practice we've just shared. Any comfortable position will do. Close your eyes if you want. And if you like, you could have one more round of our counting breath exercise. Starting by noticing if the inhales and exhales are the same way. If they are, explore increasing the count by one, and if they aren't, try equalizing inhale and exhale length. But you can let all that go, simply observe your breath, pick something else to focus on, or allow yourself not to focus at all. Not worrying about whether you focus, letting thoughts come and go like clouds drifting by. Start to find some deeper breath. And let yourself move around bit by bit in whatever way you're called to. Starting with small movements, letting them gradually get bigger. Taking your time, moving mindfully. When you're ready, you can make your way up to a seat. And bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for sharing your practice today. The light within me sees and honors that same light. Namaste. So